Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, a massive Monday show. That's right, we're wrapping up a big weekend of sport. But we're also talking player props, game picks, best bets, rate my multi. We've got multis coming out of noses in this one. It's absolute chaos. There's rate my multis left, right, and center. But I'm also going to be talking a lot of NFL, Monday Night Football for Tuesday morning, and a little bit of an NBA look. Stats guy, what about you?
Few player props in the Cricket World Cup, and I'm a bit sad backing against the Aussies.
True that. What about you, Alex?
I'm pretty mad about something Stats Guy tells me, and it actually isn't his fault, but then I'm also looking at some international football too.
We are shocked into silence.
Yeah, what about?
What's happening here? Either way, it's Code Bet Daily. Check it out right now. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Monday. Oh, geez. October 16. All day. That's right. It's episode 215 of this here show, Code Bet Daily. And I am Jaymz Clements, your host, the editor of a very good website. Surprise twist, it's called Code Bet. You can find that at codebet.com.au. I'm joined, as always, by the Pontiffs. That's right. The Pontiffs are punting. We've got the Stats Guy down there. What's going on, Stats Guy?
Going really well. Saw a big win by North yesterday, and I'm hoping the Aussies can bounce back tonight in the cricket, but I'm not very hopeful about that.
For the show, you were taking a victory lap about Afghanistan beating England. So good
job.
Yes,
I forgot about that. Yeah, love Afghanistan for a few upsets.
We've got an 87-year-old Alex Donnelly who has crawled out of bed following running a half marathon yesterday. He wants to die. So that's cool.
Don't run, kids. That's the lesson.
Don't run.
I feel
that could be taken out of context. That line. Anyway.
I feel so much worse.
They should run from you with that mustache.
Yeah,
so
I feel like 100 times worse today than I did 12 months ago after doing the full marathon.
Wow.
So if you're gonna run, train a lot, because I didn't, and it was a terrible idea.
Oh, you're here.
I feel like I'm one step ahead of you, having had a kid 12 months ago. I've not gone for a run since. So in my pace, I'm like, nailed it. Well, actually, no, I did go for a run, didn't I?
And you hurt yourself.
Yeah, you hurt. Yeah, exactly.
It blew up. So
there's a lot of things saying don't run here.
But also, doing a lap of the MCG playing Holy Grail on your playlist is pretty cool, obviously.
Yeah, that's cool, yeah. Love it.
All right, this is Code Could Have Been Dailies.
Code Suck at England Daily.
Yep.
It is Code Bet Daily. It is what it says on the tin. It's codes. Betting is daily. I think the Monday, Tuesday, early week shows at the moment are very sort of across the board when it comes to codes. So that's what it's all about. We're talking player props, game picks, and burst bets, as well as I've got to rate my multi, same game multi for tomorrow's NFL game. I'm going to be talking all NFL and just a hint of NBA. I've got one more look that was sent in the other day, but I just want to talk out Sixth Man of the Year for the NBA as well. We'll have an awards piece going up later this week on Code Bet Daily for all the NBA stuff, and NBA Australia will have a over-under podcast this week too. Right, what about you, Stats Guy? What are you looking at?
Bit of Cricket World Cup. The Aussies are playing Sri Lanka tonight, and then some international football. Rate my multi there as well.
Nice one. And Alex?
I've got exactly the same.
Oh, nice. Hopefully not the same bets, otherwise we'll start arguing again.
I'm too tired and sore. I'm defeated today.
All right, it's time to do some player props. Player props. So much echo on that. Player props. I also don't know if this ever works because me filling in for producer Gerald today just means that this could go all squirrely. Who knows? Anyway, player props. Let's do it. A couple that I gave out on Friday absolutely smashed through today. Amon-Ra Brown versus Tampa Bay. He got in actually in the first half. So the end of time touchdown, bang, cash. And even though the Philadelphia Eagles just lost, going down in your face, Gaz. They still had Jalen Hurts run for more than the 35 yards and anytime touchdown that I had on Friday's show as well. Where did he actually end up in the end? 47 and a tutty. That's pretty good. I would have gone for the 45. And I think we're talking this out as well, right? The line for that is like 35, 40, 45. So 45 plus an anytime touchdown, you would have been laughing. I was. But for tomorrow's game, interesting, weird sort of setup. You have the Dallas Cowboys coming off a big loss to the San Francisco 49ers, taking on the LA Chargers, my beloved Juzzy Herbs. This is a weird one. The Cowboys, they're traveling to LA, right? This is going to be like a 90% Cowboy fans. Like, it's going to be absolute chaos. Monday Night Football, it's a great uniform matchup. You've got the white and blue of Dallas. You've got the blue and yellow of the Chargers. Tony Pollard, though, for Dallas. Look, the receiving stuff when it comes to the likes of Dak Prescott and weird quarterbacks who can have like massive days or really bad days and throw 3 interceptions, you can always just go, well, let's just see if we can get Tony Pollard in for an anytime touchdown, because it doesn't matter if he's catching it or running it, right? Because he does a little bit of both. He's one of the sort of better mix it up running backs in the NFL. Like, he has each week, he's gone at least 3 receptions in 4 of his last 5, and sort of had that sort of, 15 plus yardage as well, just receiving. So get in there for the touchdown for him as well. He doesn't actually have a receiving touchdown yet, but he does have 2 rushing touchdowns. I think he gets in here. That's why he's actually priced out pretty nicely. The rushing defense for the Chargers, not that great. They sort of allow mid-table amount of yards. And in terms of like actual touchdowns per game, the Chargers are also I think they've already let in 5. So basically that's roughly about 3rd or 4th equal worst. So I think you see Tony Pollard get in. The thing is, he's also scored in his last 2 games at SoFi Stadium. So he doesn't mind the LA environs. And on top of that, he's gone for 86 plus rushing yards in those last 2 games there too. So if you really want to bang it up and go 80 plus rushing yards for Tony Pollard, A, it'd really help my fantasy team. And B, it's not a bad bet, I feel. He's topped 70 in his first 3 weeks. He went 70, 72, and 122. It does feel like this Cowboys team needs a shot in the arm, and I feel like it's Tony Pollard running right over the top of the Chargers. You might even look at him going for 2 touchdowns if you're feeling pretty lucky, and I think that wouldn't be too bad of a play as well. So Pollard is my big player prop for Monday Night Football. NBA, as I mentioned, player prop for this one. Season long, 6th man of the year stats guy.
It's a tough one, yeah.
Your man, El Presidente, Malcolm Brogdon, won it last year. He is no longer on the Boston Celtics.
Oh.
His man, Derek White.
Still don't know.
$17.
Yeah.
I don't like that they started this preseason bringing Giroux off the bench.
Yeah, that's weird. I think that's just because he's new, obviously, but
I just think...
Oh, he'll start.
I just think your coach is a moron. And
I think it's one thing I'm worried about. I think White's going to start at least to the start of the season. Then he's going to go, he is needed off the bench because we don't have enough people on the bench.
That actually works in our favor, I think, in this bet. $17 for Derek White. So at some point, he's actually not listed, I think, on Ladbrokes. I think this one's from Bet365.
Oh, okay.
White, $17. Just a simple idea of Joey Muzz will have to come to the realization at some point.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We shouldn't be. Why are we starting big?
Yeah.
We should be starting small, and we might actually need to either lean on Peyton Pritchard off the bench, or we'll move Derek White there just to supercharge that offense and defense once Giroux sits, because we're not going to sit Giroux, the man who's getting paid an absolute boatload of money. What are we doing here? So it's like, all right, the thing is $17 for Derek White. I like the idea. I just don't trust Joey Muzz to pull it off because he's, again, a bit of a moron. What's he going to go do? Watch The Town again? Do you think Ben Affleck's got any good ideas about Derek White coming off the bench? Anyway, Emmanuel Quickly. He was the man who made the very he was ended up the favorite, I think, down the stretch, right, for the 6-man last year. But was pipped by Brogdon, which was the correct call because Brogdon was really good and for one of the best teams in the East. I think Quickly is going to get heaps of shine this year, and I think he wins it. He's actually the favorite, though, which is
didn't he start a lot of games, though?
He did. He had a big chunk of starting. I think this year they just go, right, you're our man
off the bench. Yeah.
I've got a feeling the Knicks will be a little bit better this year too, more consistently across the season. So give me Emmanuel Quickly at $8. I think he is my initial lean, but there will be an awards article that goes out this week. So I keep an eye out for that. I might change my tune after I dig into some more numbers and some more games, more team strategy. But I feel like Quickly has his because Norm Powell is right there as well, right?
Yeah, he's a favorite, isn't he? Yeah, as well.
The Clippers just might be hurt the entire time, and he might
have to start
some more. And I just don't like that Clippers team anyway. So Quickly is pretty good. Derek White, $17 is a bit of an outside. I think this is the one that was brought up by Chris Overton, who sent in the Rate My Multi last week, and it was a great addition. But the more you sort of think about it, and more what you've seen from the first couple of preseason games, you're just worried about that coaching in Boston.
Yes.
Anyway, Alex.
Yeah, having a look at 2 player props tonight in the cricket, and a quick shout out to Kylian Mbappe scoring twice against the Netherlands over the weekend. That $2.50 anytime, little something. I think he scored in the 7th minute, so
that's good.
It's like noise.
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed, yeah.
All right, I'm done for the day. Just a couple of feels in the game tonight against Sri Lanka. Obviously, stats going on. Not very keen on the Australians at $1.29. Marnus over 30.5 at $1.83. It just feels like Marnus is due to grind one out and just get that run rate rolling along. It's sort of that runner ball. Get us actually to a decent score if we actually bat first. He feels like he's the one you can sort of trust that's like, all right, he's probably spent 3 days not sleeping and playing forward defense and little flicks off to the leg side against
he got 46 last game as well, so he's not in horrible form.
Yeah. David Warner unders because it just feels like we are due for Warner to have a massive swipe across the line and get his off peg knocked out. Look, he actually is batting all right, but batting all right isn't doing the job. And it's just like he could get choked down a little bit, and that's when he plays that ugly-looking slog. And you're like, oh, yeah, David Warner does that from time to time. Anyway, he's under 33.5 is $1.83. They're both $1.83, which is terrible betting percentages, but anyway.
Yeah. Still pretty good.
No, it's not.
Like, as in, if you want to multi it, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, at a line bet, $1.83 each of two. That's horrendous punting.
Yeah, true.
It is a bit of a rough one. Marnus is an interesting case. He was like the only one who actually did basically anything against that, right? And then a horrible game and a horrible showing by the horrible Australian team. And
also, I feel like these two blokes are going to get picked.
Well, they said they're not going to change their team, which is surprising when we're getting smashed. But
I'd pick Cameron Green, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I should just be put in charge of the Aussie cricket team, captain, coach.
As a mate and I said years ago, bring back the ACB. Don't need Cricket Australia, the Australian Cricket Board. Bring it back.
We just bring back AB.
Yeah.
AB.
All right, Stats Man, take it away.
All right. Australia, Sri Lanka, obviously, I'm going to talk about that as well. Looking at Mitchell Starc, I know that the Aussies have been struggling. The bowling hasn't been too bad. Starc as well, he's a World Cup specialist. He's got 52 wickets in 20 World Cup matches. He loves playing on the big stage in these tournaments, and he averages 2 wickets against Sri Lanka. I think even if he does, he might get an early wicket with the swing bowling, and then as you get lower into Sri Lanka's order, if we can actually get there, they will lose a lot of wickets quickly late. So I think even if he gets one earlier, he could just clean up the tail as he does with his Yorkers. So $3.40 for 3+ wickets for Starc. I know that 2+ I think is a lock for most games for him in these tournaments, but I'm just going to bump it up to 3 because I think he's going to get a couple of late wickets. I'm more confident on this one. Kusal Mendy for Sri Lanka has been absolutely awesome. 50+ runs, $2.75 I'm leaning towards. He's probably one of the most informed batters in the world, up there with Rizwan at the moment. His last 3 matches, he's got 122, 78, and 158. He's been absolutely awesome. Perfect for the white ball. He just builds into his innings. And averages 51 runs in 11 matches against Australia. I saw his average at 51 runs. I was like, oh, surely probably hasn't played Australia that many times, but he dominates against us. So 50+ runs at 275 is probably my favourite player prop, along with Starkey there as well.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's very, the weird thing for me was watching Starc and Cummins. They both looked, and well, obviously Hazelwood always looks slow, but they all just looked a little bit off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy to look pretty off when you're getting carted by the South Africans, but the radars were off, the pace just wasn't there. It's like everything was sort of sitting up a little bit too short or just wide. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Bowling pies. This is horrible. And then Zampa got carded as well in that last game too. So
wasn't good.
Not great, Bob.
No.
Not great. All right, let's do some game picks.
What's your best match or game pick?
What is my best match or game pick? I mentioned the other day, if you had read my NFL article, I had Baltimore -4 and the under in the London game because it's the London. Again,
1 point. 1 point.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
talking about? It's still under. Still under.
Yeah, no, it's just like, that was squirrely.
It was under.
My beloved Tennessee Titans continue to suck.
Absolutely never in doubt.
Need to find my hat.
The London smashed that one. Happy with that. And a couple of the other reads from the NFL article in terms of the game picks and gear. I was most disappointed by Atlanta this week. That was just atrocious.
What the hell happened to them?
Desmond Ridder just fell apart. You knew it was sort of coming, but he's been amazing at home, so you figured he'd just have an implosion on the road. Indy not getting there against Jacksonville, that was a bit of a surprise. Gardner Minshew. This is the thing, when you're a backup quarterback and someone steps in and the other team actually has a bit of time to go, oh, we're actually preparing for Gardner Minshew, as opposed to Gardner Minshew coming in going, ha ha, look at me, I'm Gardner Minshew. And like doing crazy Gardner Minshew stuff. They can actually shut you down because you're actually not that good, it turns out. So good win by Jacksonville. But that was sort of my two other big misses. Seattle, plus or minus, well, they were plus 2.5. I don't know why it says minus 2.5 on the site. That came close. Miami covered, crushed that one. Chicago, that missed as well. Nailed the, hang on a second. Did I pick San Francisco? That's bad. All right, looking through these, did not do great.
Good job.
No, Houston did good. I was happy with that. I think I took the Pats as well. Oh, this is just horrifying. Anyway, at least I know that Baltimore pick. That's what matters because that was on the show.
Yes.
Or was it? Anyway,
It
Dallas
was.
Chargers, Monday, over 51 points. We're going to go the over. This is two interesting offenses, two high-powered offenses when they get going. Dallas's defense is obviously really good. At least it has been against bad teams. The Chargers can sort of throw on anybody. Doesn't really matter, it seems. They can run a little bit. They've got the former Dallas offensive coordinator as well, which is pretty interesting, Kellen Moore. He is now the Chargers OC. But more importantly, 7 of the 10 games that these two teams have played have gone over, 51. So we're just going to stick with the over. The Chargers D can't really stop too many folks, and it's like most of their games have just turned into shootouts, right? So Dallas, you think they'll get a couple of stops, but Juzzy Herbs is good enough that they might sort of just keep it rolling, I guess. And Chargers have only played 4 games this year. Yeah, that's what I thought. So there you go. It's 6 of the 9 games have gone over because they've gone 34, 36, 50, 27, 24, 24, 28. And the only one that didn't go over the 51 for the Chargers was the weird, horrible Raiders game, which was just bad. So I think Dallas, they got plenty of weapons. Chargers got plenty of weapons. We're going to go the over. And came very close to hitting that multi that I gave out on Friday as well. The Miami, Detroit, Philly, when we cut out the AFC South teams, that was at like $6.68. Philly with the big disappointment right there at the end with the big Jalen Hurts one. But stats guys, should we take a bit of a victory lap here?
Oh, we were spot on here. Yeah, why not?
Absolutely nailed every single one of the Friday game, well, the Friday picks for the NBL for Friday and Saturday. All 4.
How good is that? Nice.
So Sydney, Melbourne, Sixers, and the Phoenix. So
the bloody Phoenix, just a whole different team at home. Just pick them at home, don't pick them away.
I love the Jackies, obviously, but wow, Phoenix, yeah, they're at home.
Nice.
Never go against them. They were laughing. Righto, good stuff. Alex, what about you for your match and or game picks?
Yeah, so just having a look at a soccer game coming up in the next couple of days. Australia taking on New Zealand, and shockingly, it's not in Australia nor New Zealand. I can't even remember where it is.
It's at Brentford G-Tech Community Stadium where Brentford play.
Up the bees. What? I thought
it's
it was
called
they're
calling it the Ashes as well. I'm pretty sure it's a new because they originally had an Ashes like 80 years ago for this match, and they found it again. So I'm pretty sure it's called the Ashes again. Which is a fun little. It shouldn't be, but there was an Ashes. I don't know, a long time ago. So there you go.
But we're playing New Zealand in soccer.
I don't know. It's weird. Let's keep going.
I hate this. Can we cancel the show?
We've just gone silent. There is an Ashes of some sort. I don't know.
I'm just angry. I'm like, what are you doing copying cricket soccer?
Yeah,
like,
and it's Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
In England.
In England. Yeah, it's called the Soccer Ashes. It started in the 1920s. There you go.
Lift up your socks, people in the 100 years ago. What are you doing? That is shocking you.
Anyway.
I was just putting that out.
We weren't terrible against the Poms over the weekend at Wembley. We lost 1-0. And look, we should be too good for the Kiwis. We're $1.55 to win the game. That's a decent enough price, but given the way that we played the other night, we're very strong defensively. Stats guy's man Sutar was awesome.
Yeah.
He absolutely obliterated Ollie Watkins at one point. Australian under 3.5 goals for the match at $2.05 seems a good way to look at this game, even if it's 2-1, 2-0, something like that. I don't feel like we'll get a lot of goals because, let's be honest, both teams don't have many attacking options going forward.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's really good.
That's awesome. It was 2-0 last time, and it's absolutely pouring in England. Or it was the other day. So I'm hoping if it's the same sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, we'll have a look.
Who knows? It's
interesting.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, I like
nice.
it.
I like that. Stats man.
Back to Australia versus Sri Lanka in the Cricket World Cup tonight. Both sides are
Is this also the Ashes? I just need to check.
This is definitely not the Ashes.
Nah, this is the Dilmar tea leaves. This is what it is.
There you go. Both sides are 0-2, but the Aussies, I think, have looked a lot worse. They haven't made over 200 plus runs. Sri Lanka are at least averaging 335 runs in this tournament, including they scored a big score against South Africa, who we were horrible against. Aussies been horrible form. Lost 7 of the last 10 ODI matches. And what surprised me even more was that Sri Lanka have actually won 3 of the last 4 ODI meetings. And all of those have been...
So is this overall or against each other?
No, sorry. So 7 of the last 10 ODIs we've actually lost just in general. And then Sri Lanka against us has won 3 of the last 4 times. And that's over the last couple of years. So it's pretty recent. You got similar teams. That one surprised me a lot. I was going to take the match line, as I wrote in the paper and on the site, which was plus 5.5.
Your India line got obliterated the other day too.
I know. Oh, it almost got up sort of because they had 7 the wickets. But anyway. The Sri Lanka plus 5.5 wickets and plus 35.5 runs. I'm all over that. I think it's about $1.80. But going through the stats and how well Sri Lanka have been over the last even a year or so in one-day cricket.
Being the stats guy, you are all over this.
Exactly. So I'm going to go Sri Lanka at $4. They keep rising. They were $3.60, even $3.75, and now they're $4. I think you got to take them considering the form at the moment and how they performed in the tournament.
It's a good call.
It kills me to do it, but we just I think the coaching staff of the Aussies, we'll find out tonight, said that they're not going to make any or many changes, which I think is silly when you're getting smashed, but we'll see.
Yeah, cricket's weird like that, though, isn't it? Where you go, well, we're not going to make any changes because we want to keep a little bit of continuity. But if continuity isn't scoring 200 runs in an ODI, like, what do you?
Like, there's 9 games in the tournament, so I reckon you can change it up a little bit when you got so many matches, but apparently not.
You can also, like, Australia can afford to lose. Well, we've just seen England. England have lost 2 now, haven't they? So,
no, have they?
That was just their first loss.
I think that was their first one. Yeah, I think that was their first one. Which was
beloved New Zealand. You're in the box seat.
Yes.
Absolutely flying. Might say check that cash out. Anyway,
in India.
I love this idea though, like the going Sri Lanka, just because the Aussies just look at us.
Like we could randomly bounce back, but
it was like $1.80, $2.20. You'd be like, oh yeah, but we're $1.30. Like,
that's too short. Yeah.
The value is firmly with Sri Lanka.
Like, yes, I'd happily lose $20 backing Sri Lanka to see us come out and go bang. I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a win-win either way if you bet on Sri Lanka.
We don't suck.
Let's do some best bets.
It's best bets. It's best bets. It's time for all the best bets.
Got my cane and my top hat out. Philly -7 over the Jets. That was not a best bet. That was a bad bet. So good job by me on Friday. My favorite bet of the weekend. Just not even it was close, and then Jalen Hurts went, don't care for you, Jim. Off you go. My favorite bet for tomorrow, though, for tomorrow's NFL game is Dallas -1.5. I think they are too good for the Chargers. This is also one of those classic bounce back spots, right? Dallas, I think, have won 7 straight after a loss, which is pretty good. It's like certainly not one of those weird random stats when it comes to, oh, well, if they do this on a Wednesday night, it's all good. No, like this is a team that goes, right, we just got punched in the mouth. How do we respond? Usually it's the defense that steps up and to bounce back and win it. And if it's a 1.5 line, it's basically just like a bit of a toss-up, right, at that point. Because there's not a giant amount of value just taking the Chargers plus 1.5 at home. If it was plus 2.5, maybe plus 3.5, obviously, but minus 1.5, we're going to go the Cowboys. So if we want a bit of a sort of look at that as well, they've covered, I think, 3 of their 5 games this year. The Chargers have only covered their last 2 out of their 4. So I just feel a little bit more confident in this Dallas team. If they're going to win, they probably cover that 1.5 and away we go. But if we want to have a bit of a rate my multi, you're telling me Dallas -1.5 over 51 points. Pollard anytime touchdown. Pollard 60+ rushing yards, and Dak Prescott 2 passing touchdowns.
Ooh.
$6.60. Actually really like that because that's kind of like dumping that Pollard, that rushing total down a little bit to only 60 and the anytime, and to go over 51. The tricky part is, like, I don't want to throw too many receiving touchdown bets specifically for players in there, whereas actually just throwing Dak to hit a couple of passing touchdowns is a little bit easier And it's not hugely great value, but rather than trying to thread the needle of is it to CD Lamb? Is it to Brandon Cooks? Is it to the tight end? I don't know. This at least just gets you to the 2, and you're going to get there with the over anyway, right? So there you go, $6.60. Gentlemen, rate that multi.
Oh, I'll give it a 8.5, 9. I reckon that's very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's contract. That's my rating.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, but not great when you look at it from a consumer point of view, other than being Dak.
I mean, it's great if you're Dak.
For everyone else, not great.
$60 million 4-year contract. I'll take that.
$160 million out of 10. Jeez, that's pretty good.
Smashed it. Highest rating. All right. What about you, Alex? What's your best bet?
Yeah, well, I've also got to rate my multi as well for some Euro qualifiers. So have a look at Netherlands taking on Greece. The Dutch need to win to still stay in contention to qualify automatically for I've just spaced on what the tournament's called next year. Euro 2024.
Euros, yeah.
It's the Euros.
I was just like,
what's that European tournament called?
Yeah, right.
Teams in it.
I think it's called the Asia Cup. That's it.
I think it's called the Copa America. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I saw someone say, I can't wait for Brazil and Germany to play in the Copas, and someone's like, hold on.
Wait a second.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
To be fair, we play in Asia. Anyway, keep going.
Well, technically, yeah. Well, because who cares about the Australia Cup? It's us versus us. Anyway, Belgium against Sweden. A win here for Belgium knocks Sweden out of contention, and again, a win just solidifies their position at top of their group. And the Poms taking on Italy. With a win here for England, it makes it impossible for them to miss automatic qualification despite there being 2 match days left. So basically, all 3 teams need to win for various reasons. And if you want to rate that as it comes together at $5.18.
Rate my multi.
That's actually not bad for Netherlands, Belgium, and England.
Because I saw Netherlands are $1.94. That is an amazing
the Dutch
price.
were decent against France the other night. Like we talked about they're missing a lot of players, but if they bring that sort of form to a game against Greece, they will wipe the floor with them. Belgium are just better than Sweden. And the Poms, well, they're actually, as much as I hate to say it, they are a decent football team despite a couple of injuries that they've got in their squad at the moment.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9 as well. I really like that.
I'll give it an 8. Because they're all head-to-heads and something squirrely could always happen. But pretty good. Nice one. All right, Stats Man.
We're going for our third Rate My Multi of this segment alone. So I'm going to do some international football as well. Bosnia and Herzegovina taking on Portugal. Got to go Portugal head-to-head. Just got a star-studded team. They've won all 7 of their qualifiers, so go them head-to-head. I think it's even $1.50, which I was a bit surprised about.
I just want to hear you say Bosnia and Herzegovina again, but that's all right.
Oh, I don't know if that's how you say it. That's not how you say it. Okay. Azerbaijan, did I say that one right? Versus Austria, head-to-head. Austria, they got the pace and attack. They've only lost 1 of their 7 matches. Azerbaijan are a bit lower in that group, so I'm going to go Austria there. Then I'm going to go Senegal head-to-head against Cameroon. Senegal, you got this team full of current or past Premier League stars. And Sadio Mane as well is in there from the Bundesliga. They showed how strong they are in the World Cup, and I think
Sadio Mane is playing in Saudi Arabia, dude.
Oh yeah, no. Who moved to Bayern? Did he move to Bayern?
Harry Kane moved to Bayern.
No, someone else did. Anyway, I'm thinking of a different player, but that's okay. Senegal.
The Korean defender from Napoli.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Anyway, that's a different one. I think Senegal are going to beat Cameroon there, so just take them head to head. And then the last leg is Australia head to head against New Zealand. As Alex mentioned before, that's a pretty decent price as well. Aussies were pretty unlucky not to get a draw against England. Had more shots, had a couple of shots, just go a bit wayward and could have easily snuck a draw, which is an awesome effort against the powerhouse of England. Won 2-0 in December last year when we played New Zealand as well. So 4 legs there, which are Portugal head to head, Austria head to head, Senegal head to head, and Australia head to head. Rate my multi, please, Jim, if you've got that going.
Rate my multi.
That's $5.80 for those 4 legs, which I don't mind as well.
I'm worried about the Azerbaijan-Austria one because what do either team have to play for? Whereas I know in other games there's a bit to play for.
Yeah, to be fair, lots of these games are not to play for compared to the ones you mentioned.
Yeah,
but
so that's why I'm worried about that.
Lots of them have pride, like team pride, and they want to get a win.
It's also like, let's not get injured before going back to our various teams.
But you could say that about Australia. It's just a friendly. I think they're going to.
Yeah, but again, that's Australia taking on New Zealand. That's a bit different.
In the Ashes.
Yeah, right. Whereas, do you think like Goncalo Ramos is going to dive in headfirst at a header where he might get his head kicked off when he's got to go back to PSG this weekend?
Yeah, true. I don't know. Fair enough, because that's the only worry. But I still think even if they win less than they usually would, like 2 goals, I think they can all win by 1 goal at least. So we'll see how that goes.
I still think it should be the sheepskin.
Yeah, okay.
Australia, New Zealand, the Ashes. What are you
call it the far lap?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Far
Crowe.
I don't know, the Trans-Tasman Cup, just that sort of stuff. Just the sheepskin. We'll just like, whoever gets a rug.
Matthew Leckie.
Yeah.
With a nice jacket made of sheepskin. This jacket's sweet as he. Like, yes.
Get nice and sweaty in the Wolves bloody jacket, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nice one. All right, there you go. That's it. Co-Bed Daily done for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow, all in the studio as well, I reckon. So get right around this show and all the shows, NFL Australia, NBA Australia, as I mentioned, coming back this week. We will have an EPL show this week.
Thursday.
We also have a big hold all tickets. How'd you go with the hold all tickets, picks and everything for this past weekend, Alex?
Yeah, so Lammy's best bet as Fura absolutely bolted in. Mine, Arctic Glamour, won, and then a couple of lay bets got beaten. Then Fangirl winning at $8 in the King Charles was a highlight. So
Awesome.
yeah, decent little weekend around if you find. I think everyone except for one of the lay bets got beaten, which is basically the key thing in finding them. So huge weekend this week. It's Caulfield Cup in Sydney. There isn't much, but if you're going to be at Caulfield races, you may get a microphone stuck in your face by yours truly if you want to be on our website and our social medias. I'm going to be asking questions before and after the races. This could end terrible.
After will be interesting.
Yeah.
As long as it's just a microphone he's sticking in your face. All right. Like, review, and star all those shows across all of your podcast apps. Chuck us a follow across all the socials as well, of course. Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Threads. And send in any questions via the socials, any bets, any Rate My Multis. We'll have a crack at those. Had a really good one last week, which I've actually put money on. There we go. Either way, good stuff. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm going to bed.
All right. And thanks to me for producing, because Geraldinho apparently just was like, nah, I can't do it, bro. So, all right, see ya. So thanks to me. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
May all your picks come in. Happy punting. We will catch you tomorrow. Go Bed Daily. Out.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.